This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Last time on the Damage Guild podcast.
You're now going to be heading into unknown territory.
Kardain will search.
Verrol will be scouting.
Zara will be investigating.
Verrol is, for the most part, kind of guiding you along. Kardain, you notice something unusual.
Battle Brother and others, hold.
What do your dwarven eyes see?
You first spot something in one of the branches of a tree just up ahead. The branch drops down more than you would think for like a small animal or something. Like there's something large in this tree.
There's something on that tree branch. Over there.
Would you like to roll initiative at this point so that you can actually take turns getting in there?
Who has time for initiative? I draw my rapier and spur my horse forward. For Harrogate! To death and ruin! For Fosdale!
That one works. Okay. Perception-ish. Here we go.
Perception. That's perception-ish.
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 Does scouting use a different skill than perception?
No, what it does is it gives everyone a +1.
Did that actually take into account? Because I did Kardain's roll, and I don't see a +1.
It doesn't get added automatically.
Yeah, you have to add it manually.
Okay, well, don't forget me, Thane.
Is investigate perception?
Unless you're doing something specific like sneaking, then you're probably going to be doing perception.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not that many exploration activities that change. Also, that's like at GM discretion, right? When if the GM wants to change their initiative roll.
Like if you're in a dialogue with someone and then initiative is rolled, then it would be based on your social skills. But otherwise, it's usually perception or stealth.
Verrol will be going on a 20, non-natty.
Ooh, Zara rolled a natural 20. Natty 20 for 25.
I'm going to be on a 15 with that tasty +1 from your scouting. Thank you very much.
Ooh, we got a little map change here.
Oh, no, map change. That's scary. Well, we're already in initiative. That's plenty scary.
And I realized that because I were on the wrong scene, none of those things went to the right initiative here, so I have to add everyone in manually.
It's not easy being a dungeon master. Very excited to be. Sean is. Kardain, of course, is maybe not so excited, but Sean is excited to be inside of initiative. One of my favorite things about Pathfinder is the combat.
One of?
Yeah, one of. Did I stutter, Jay?
That's true. You get excited about exploration activities and downtime activities.
I think exploration is interesting. I like that there's choice involved.
I don't know. Something about you saying combat is one of your favorite things about Pathfinder would be a little bit like me saying that my wife is one of my favorite women. It just doesn't compute.
Is she going to listen to this podcast?
She might, actually.
I like some combats. I don't know if I like all combats.
Well, combats where your life is in peril are certainly perilous.
All right. Well, Zara, you are the first one to act. So, what has been pointed out to you by Kardain is that one of the branches in the tree about 15 feet ahead of the front of their party is hanging down and moving.
All right. Not sure what to do here. I would like to...
Can familiars seek?
Oh, that's true. I could send Mr. Crowley.
Even if your familiar can see it, you still wouldn't be able to see it, and it would take their action to try to point out where something is, I guess.
Unless that familiar had the share senses ability for the day, which Mr. Crowley does.
Isn't that your action to change to using its senses?
It is, yeah.
Because we wouldn't want you to get closer to do this check, right? Because, like, what's the range on seek if Zara tried to seek?
Yeah, I don't know how seek works.
It's either a cone or a spot. I like the way you're thinking, Brian. This seems great because that could be a way for you to help us identify what the threat is without putting Zara in peril.
Seek is... Well, you choose an area to scan. It's almost always 30 feet or less in any dimension. Yeah, I guess if you wanted to seek, then you would just pick the center of your area and you go from there. I don't see anything about the cone in here. I think that might have been in an earlier edition, before the remaster.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I might be basing that off of Dawnsbury. By the way, Dawnsbury Days, great way to learn Pathfinder 2nd Edition. It's like There's a demo, there's a free version, and then the game itself is very cheap on Steam.
I played it, and I actually beat the main campaign already.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Didn't know you'd been playing it. That's cool.
I did it in like one sitting.
They're going to add more content soon.
Yeah, so they took away any rules about the type of area that you seek if that was in there before. So now it's just GM says 30 feet or less in any dimension.
So they made Seek a lot more simple.
Okay.
Are you close enough to the tree, though, Zara?
I am not.
So what was the whole shared census thing?
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I command Mr. Crowley to fly up to the tree, kind of however close he needs to get to kind of see into the branches, and then a second action to share senses. So share senses says you can use a single action to project your senses into your familiars. This is like warging in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When you do, you lose all sensory information from your own body, but can sense through your familiar's body for up to 1 minute.
So is that Zara's action to...
Yeah, to warg into it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's one action, and then one action to command him, because you need multiple familiar actions.
So
Yeah.
you see what Mr. Crowley sees,
Yes, exactly.
for those who are unfamiliar with Game of Thrones.
Oh, yes. Everyone, stay here. Hold tight. Let me send Mr. Crowley in.
This is really cool. I mean, you have raven eyes.
Heck yeah, dude. So, first of Mr. Crowley's two actions, he flies 25 feet to where he's about 10 feet away from the tree. Is that enough for him to be able to see into it?
Yeah, and since he's flying up there, he can pretty easily get out of the way of the branches. I'm not going to have him seek to spot it. So what he sees in the tree is something that you've seen all too much of lately. A giant frog.
Oh.
This one looks different from the ones that you saw. This one looks like it's otherwise normal frog, but huge.
Whoa.
Weird.
If that's true, do you think you could rebate Brian for his action? Don't you have independent?
Yes, yeah, he also has independence, so I could not spend an action to command him.
But you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know, so...
He could still take another action to move again or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you could hex then, right? If Mr. Crowley is your eyes?
I can't cast spells through him.
Right.
It would still originate from me, yeah.
So does Zara have... Is her eyes only Mr. Crowley, or does she have both vision right now?
It's only Mr. Crowley.
Oh, so she's literally blind right now.
Yep.
In her own body.
She's blind, deaf, and unsmelled.
Is it a free action to drop it?
It is. You can dismiss the effect.
Was it a free action or an action?
Isn't that a freebie?
It doesn't say. Is dismiss normally an action?
It depends.
Dismiss is an action.
Okay.
An action to end an effect that states you can dismiss it.
There are some things, though, that say, yeah, as a free action, you can dismiss.
Okay, gotcha.
Just kind of puts Brian in a pickle, though, because since you commanded Mr. Crowley, you're kind of committed to another action with it somehow.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fine. I'll just say, it appears that there's a very large frog in the tree. Perhaps we should just circumvent it?
I mean, has it noticed us?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell where they're looking. They look kind of in all directions at once since their eyes are on both sides.
That's true.
It hasn't responded.
Does it appear angry or agitated?
I'm not the best at reading frog emotions. I can't say exactly. I think I'm just going to have Mr. Crowley fly back to me and then use my last action to dismiss it and suggest to the group that we try to just go around it.
Isn't that just two actions?
One action to command it, one action to share senses.
Oh, sure, senses.
And then after he comes back, then it's one action to dismiss.
But this was scouting that didn't put Zara in peril. I think it's still
exactly.
It's a cool turn. You're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Doing something new. You're scouting.
Yep, and that ends my turn.
All right, Verrol, it's your turn.
I will take Lady Zara's advice and spur my horse slowly forward in the direction I was already moving down, sort of avoiding the frog to my right. And I will quietly beckon my companions to join me. But I think while riding past the frog, I'm probably going to spend an action to wrap my dueling cape around my one arm, just in case it, jumps at me or something.
In case stuff goes down.
Yeah. So I'll take wrap, dueling cape, move, will be my 3 actions.
So you advance slowly, give the frog a wide berth.
Yep.
I don't give birth to a frog, I give the frog a birth.
It's the frog's turn. You don't see it doing anything at the moment. None of you can see it, but the branch shakes again a little bit, and then it's Kardain.
Branch shakes. I don't know if I like that, the branch shaking.
Perhaps he's practicing his Macarena skills.
Perhaps you could summon another frog to become friends with it, to distract it while we pass.
So we all have horses, right?
You have them, but you're on foot at the moment, so the horses are just kind of following you.
I don't hate that idea, what Verrol was up to. There's a tree right in front of Kardain. Could I lead my horse to be under the tree? Maybe there's like a branch, or I could like tie the horse up to the tree.
Generally, a horse, unless it gets frightened, it'll stay if you just toss the reins onto something.
Oh, it'll stay. Okay. So I'll try to get it some cover behind the tree. And actually, I kind of want to position Kardain so that he also, from this movement, might get a little bit of cover from this tree, perhaps himself.
So you position yourself on the opposite side of the trunk from where the frog is.
Yeah, from where we see the frog. So I'm going to get behind that tree. Should protect me and the horse a little bit. I'll raise a shield. Could I try to recall knowledge? I can't see the frog.
I mean, you could try to think of something that you know about giant frogs.
Okay, because Zara announced what it is she saw through Mr. Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to see what I know about a giant frog like the one she described.
It's a secret check.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you want the weakest save?
I am interested in the weakest save for this, I think. I think we're going to end up fighting this thing.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious.
You believe that their will would be the weakest defense?
That's information.
For the record, Brian wants to do combat, but Zara thought it would be wise to try to avoid it.
Okay, Kardain's going to, if I can, I'm going to relay that information.
Target its mind.
Yes, Go for the mind.
Go for the mind, Boo. Go for the mind.
If what I remember about giant toads is that they really hate riddles and puzzles, if we can just puzzle him.
I think you're supposed to ask, like, basically if it has any weak defenses, and that would include saves and armor class.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to group those together and say that will and physical defenses are both going to be pretty effective.
Are going to be, those defenses will be low.
You're saying that those are lower versus his reflex.
Those are the low
and
ones.
His, okay. And fortitude. Okay.
Okay.
I relay that as well. He's a squishy toad.
Stoke, kindly escort Master Starburn safely past the frog, please.
Stoke takes your advice, and he and Tebril are moving at the same time, so they'll go together and follow closely behind you. They're going to go a little bit past you since they're just moving, and Stoke is taking Tebril to be as far away from the frog as possible. And then something else rustles in the bush underneath the tree that Kardain is also under.
Uh-oh.
And you see an enormous tick. Comes out of the bush and jumps at you.
Oh dude, no. Regular-sized ticks are already horrible. I can't imagine a gigantic one.
Yeah. Good night.
Oh, that's the worst.
Is it juggling limes?
Here you go. Kardain, would you like a lime?
Have some limes.
He squirts lime juice in your eye.
Well, it tries to bite you with its mandibles, or whatever you call them.
Oh, dude.
But I get a critical miss on the first one.
And his mandibles fall off.
And it's going to try again, and due to the multi-attack penalty, it rolls even worse than it did on the critical fumble on the second one. So
this tick's trying to get to me.
This ticks me off.
So you are defending against it, and it does not manage to connect. You then also see some of the nearby bushes begin to move. And it's not something coming out of the bushes, but the bushes themselves begin to move.
What? What is happening in this forest?
What in the world?
So scared and confused.
Kardain, have Bronn tell his friends to go home.
I mean, judging from Bronn's look on his face, and I know his looks quite well, I don't think that's friend.
That side of the family was always a problem, eh?
One of these bushes rustles and moves towards Zara, shaking as it shimmies across the ground towards you.
Weird.
Is it a bush, or is it another creature in a bush costume going digoo digoo digoo?
And then it stops about 10 feet away, and you see a vine reach up out of it and lash out towards you.
Ooh. It's got reach.
And it hits you for 5 points of damage.
Oof. Ouch.
And then it will also attempt to grab you.
No.
It succeeds in grabbing you, so you are grabbed, which means that you are off guard and immobilized.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Okay, so off guard, effectively -2 to my AC, and immobilized, I can't move.
You can't move. You can... Or if you attempt any manipulate action, which includes most spells, then you've got a 20% chance of it failing.
Wow.
Good night.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's everything that it does. And then a second one also reveals itself.
Ugh.
And this one is going to chase after Verrol.
Have at thee, knave. You leafy scoundrel, you.
Misses and tries to attack again and hits for 6 points of damage, but it doesn't have enough actions remaining to grab you. So, Zara, we're back around to you.
What are my options as far as breaking free from its grasp?
Either use your unarmed attack modifier or your athletics or acrobatics. Your choice of any of those three. On a success, then you end the condition. On a critical success, you end it and can move 5 feet. A critical failure, you can't attempt to escape again for the rest of the turn.
Okay, so let's do that to start. I'm going to spend 1 action to try to escape. So my unarmed attack is higher than my acrobatics or athletics. It's a +6.
And escapes also count as attacks, meaning they account for your multiple attack penalty.
Okay. Ooh, 21.
All right. You break free of the vine.
Nice.
Rip it off of you.
Oh, sweet.
Aha! Nice work, Zara!
Oh, she struggles against it and throws off the vine. I think we should focus the tick for now, so I'm going to move north by northwest away from the vine, and then she will allow Mr. Crowley's independent. He will take 1 action to fly up next to the tick, and then I will cast Shroud of Night on the tick. It makes a will save. Mr. Crowley, you know what to do.
Fails its will save.
All right. So murky darkness shrouds its eyes, and unless it has greater dark vision, all creatures are concealed to it.
You now see, after Zara's turn, a third bush making its moves.
Oh, no.
No.
And it's already pretty close to Verrol, so it's going to scuttle that direction and attack as well. But it misses with both attacks. Verrol?
Does anybody know if when advancing on an opponent that has reach, if I trigger any potential reactions by, like, circling around it?
Remember that most creatures don't have reactions to your movement, but if they do, then any sort of movement within their range would trigger it.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll have to take at least 1 move action, so I will begin circling around to the left of one of these 2 vines. And I will try to attack the one closest to me.
Okay.
That's a 14 to hit.
That misses.
And then with my third action, I will raise my dueling cape protectively.
Frog doesn't seem to be doing anything, so we're back around to Kardain.
Kardain knows things. Would it be better that I know things or that I know things?
What?
Both would be equally good, I would think.
What do you mean?
I'm kind of interested in doing some more recall knowledge, but I want to do a specific type of recall knowledge. So you see, I could, because it's a plant, I could do nature, but Kardain has a particular area of knowledge. It might be better to lore check these plants.
Okay, your lore isn't even on your character sheet, so what is your lore skill?
I realize that plant lore is overall a smaller bonus, but I remember reading somewhere that if you know a specific, like, targeted lore for a particular enemy, it's an easier check. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so Kardain wants to lean into that know-how, and I want to recall knowledge on one of these prickly, grabby plant monsters. Do you guys have any suggestions? What would be helpful? Do you think us learning also about their defenses is the most important thing? Like if
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I also want to know about the plant's defenses.
You recognize it as Vine Lasher.
Vine Lasher. I remember these.
Its will is its weakest. So these are basically just barely sentient plants that kind of run around and grab things and eat them.
Okay, I was figuring it will would be the the thing to go for.
But we don't learn about its armor class like we did with the toad in this case.
For its weakest defense as well. And what I was supposed to have done when it grabbed you is it wasn't quite as bad. It's a special type of grab, so it doesn't immobilize you, but it just makes you move slower.
Okay.
Sorry about that. If it happens again, then that's what will happen.
Would it still affect things with the manipulate trait?
Oh, and that wouldn't have ruined his spellcasting?
Yeah, it does still affect manipulate trait. It's just you can move as if moving through difficult terrain.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to being fully immobilized.
Okay, got it. So you can kind of like drag it along behind you,
Yeah.
I guess.
Alright, so Kardain, you've had 2 actions left.
Yep, so it looks like you're trying to set me up, Zara, and I like the cut of your jib, and I am going to... And Kardain takes his hand that's not holding his shield.
Thanks, I just had my jib trimmed the other day.
Oh, it looks nice on you.
Thank you.
Do you even know what a jib is?
Nope.
Yeah, it's a sail.
I think it's ship speak, right? Yeah.
The cut of it would be like how you're pulling the ropes and arranging it and everything.
But I mean, you do trim the
yeah.
sheets when you're talking
Trim
about
sails,
sail.
yeah.
You know.
All right.
True.
So Kardain is going to, in one swift motion, come down on this annoying tick with a freshly morphed hand that is in the shape of like a beastly claw.
Whoa.
And I'm going to try to slash, actually.
Well, so literally your hand morphs into the claw of a beast and you slash at it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's cool.
And I slash at it.
Sweet.
Make your attack.
I will.
It's a good thing Verrol is not in eye shot of you, or he would be rather alarmed.
Oh, really? My minor transformation. It's only like my forearm down, I would assume, or just my hand. Yeah, you temporarily morph your limb into a clawed appendage. So that's how much limb I'm giving over to the beastliness, and I will attack.
I think Verrol kind of sees Kardain as this sort of curiosity to be observed, just because you're...
Yeah, like a circus.
Yeah,
Or
like
a zoo exhibit.
right. Just because your ways are so foreign to him.
So 18 hits.
I'll roll damage. And the cool thing about this cantrip, underratedcantrips.com, remember? Underrated cantrips. It's this, if you connect, it always causes the bleed. It's melee, though, so that's kind of the biggest drawback, obviously.
Underratedcantrips.com. This site can't be reached. Sorry.
I was wondering if that's a real hashtag underrated cantrips.
No, I'm just trying out some other cantrips, because like everybody's go-to is Electric Arc, and I just want some of the other ones to get some love and airtime.
You should start a social media mini-series, hashtag underrated cantrips.
Mm-hmm, underrated. Yeah, hashtag underrated PF2E cantrips. So that's going to be 5 slashing and 2 persistent bleed.
Ooh.
Nice.
Now you know how it feels to bleed. Tick.
Bleed, you tick.
So that's actually 7 damage, because I think they take the first tick. Tick. They take the first points of the persistent damage, and then they have a chance to make it go away, right?
Well, they don't take the damage until it's their turn, but they do take it before they get to make the check.
Yeah, so persistent damage always at least gets that first instance, even if they save.
Yeah, they take it at the end of the turn, so if they have some way on their turn to remove it, then they're fine.
Yeah. It's a tick. He's not going to, like, perform first aid on himself. I mean, he just, like, gets out these little bandages and starts to, like, stop the bleeding. It's like, no, like, it's not going to happen. No, this damage is staying, Thane, unless somebody kills him before it's relevant.
Stoke hears all the rustling and turns around and sees what's going on, and he rushes to help Verrol, so he attacks the nearest Vine Lasher.
What's the name of the ability or spell you use to transform your hand into a claw?
That would have been Gouging Claw.
Gouging Claw. Cool.
Yep. Primal only cantrip, I think?
Probably.
Maybe also arcane.
It is primal.
It's very primal.
Yeah, Stoke runs up, he raises his shield and attacks with his battle axe, and chops through several branches of this bush.
And then he goes,
Trimming
it's
the
time
hedges.
to trim the hedges.
Trim the hedges.
That's a little patrons-only joke. You can check us out at patreon.com/damageguild to get that joke.
And to get all our exclusive rewards and bonus content.
That's right.
So if they go to Patreon, they pay for a joke? Is that...
One of many exclusive perks, rewards, and bonus content.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty great.
Yeah, it is.
Bonus campaign content.
Let me tell you, as a knower of that joke, it is pretty great.
IYK.
That's right.
doesn't even sound like anything.
YYKYK, if you know, you know.
That sounds like Hawaiian or something.
Yeah, Waikiki.
So, it's the tick's turn, and the tick attacks Kardain and hits for 5 points of damage, after which it attaches to you. So it bites and then latches on.
Oh, no. It is as gross as I feared it would be.
Things in this woods getting real grabby with us.
And
hands off.
It's going to start draining your blood.
It's trying to replace the blood that it's now losing.
You're just going to trade blood back and forth with it.
What does that mean?
It actually gets to do it twice. It will drain 6 points from you, and you are drained 1, which is effectively a -1 constitution.
No.
I've seen my hit point maximum decrease. Whoopee.
You see the blood that it's taking out of you, and you can see the tick kind of turning a little bit red as it does that, and then you see it flow out as it bleeds. So it's taking in health and losing health.
Gross.
So it takes its 2 points of damage and succeeds on its recovery check, so it is no longer bleeding.
Crap.
Now it's the vine that was attacking Zara, and you're still the closest thing to it, so it's going to move up and attack again.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Abracadabra, gonna reach out and grab you.
But it misses with both attacks.
Nice.
Sweet.
The injured one tries to grab Stoke.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. The whole reason I moved Mr. Crowley up next to the tick was so that his familiar ability would trigger. I forgot about it, so that was my fault.
I also forgot to roll the concealed check.
I think it was triggered, the concealed.
Yes, the concealment, yeah.
There was a 20% chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not high, but might as well roll it because this would change a lot of the events of that turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it would have hit.
Still succeeded.
And once it's attached, it doesn't have to make attack rolls anymore, so...
Ooh.
And attached is different from grapple. It's not like Kardain could pull it off of him, right?
It's kind of like it's reverse grappled almost, or grabbed. Because it is stuck to you. If you move around, it'll come with you. You can try to pull it off on your turn. Mm-hmm. It's also not as mobile because it's stuck to you. So it'll be easier to target.
May I recommend a very large pair of tweezers?
Is that in your med kit, Zara?
Yes, here. There's one sticking out of my pack.
Perfect. Throw him over.
The vine attacks. Stoke hits and tries to grab, but doesn't succeed, and then makes another attack and misses. Zara, back to you.
I think I'm going to sustain the hex. So I sustain Shroud of Night, and that does trigger Mr. Crowley's ability. So the tick is now, still has the concealment thing, and is also frightened 1.
Conceal doesn't matter for the tick if it's attached to me, but I could try to pull it off of Kardain, and then the 20% miss chance is going to work again.
Yeah, that's true.
When it's draining, it doesn't have to make attack rolls anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think I need to run away, so I'm going to do that. Past the tree that you're under. And then her last action will be to cast Shield. So that is my turn.
Running away is actually quite good in Pathfinder.
Especially when you're a squishy spellcaster.
Because then the enemies have to spend movement. There's no shame in striding around. It's actually a very mobile game. Not a mobile game for your phone, but
it's a mobile game, yeah.
It's a game of mobility.
And of nobility.
One of the other vines goes next, attacks Stoke, hits once, but doesn't manage to grab him. Stoke is looking fairly injured at this point.
Oh, yeah, he's looking rough.
Verrol?
I think the best thing to start with is the demoralize action. I'm going to attempt to demoralize the...
You stupid plant.
The lashy vine.
You would take a -4 because you don't speak plant.
Yeah, but I think given that will is its lowest defense, that's probably going to work better than feint or tumble through.
Okay, yeah.
What about tumble through, and then you could be flanking?
Does that get you panache?
It's when you feint or create a diversion or tumble through.
Tumble through.
Yeah, demoralize is not part of it. I think it's a different type of swashbuckler that does that.
Really?
The braggart, right?
So is it just feint or tumble through? Are those the only 2 ways I have to gain panache?
Yes, although there should be more ways to get it back as soon as we see the remaster version of the swashbuckler.
Oh, I see.
You could create a diversion to get your...
Does create a diversion allow it?
Create a diversion is more if like you're going to run away, so that they're not looking at you when you try to sneak off.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Well, in that case, I think fainting and tumbling through might be, well, it's tumble through is acrobatics against its reflex, and I'm guessing these vine lashers have pretty good reflex.
Yeah, but tumble through at least gets you into flanking with
Stoke.
with your pal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you're trying to use the information we gleaned from Recall Knowledge, though.
Right. Okay, I'll try tumbling through. And that's a bad roll. That's an 11.
Ooh, okay. Well, no matter what you picked, if that was your roll.
Alright, I'll try to attack it. As I'm hacking away at this bush, I turn around and I'm to Tebriel. I'm like, Master Starburn, never fear. It's only a minor inconvenience. We'll have it handled in just a moment. Please be patient. Alright, that's a 25 to hit.
Ooh, nice.
That hits.
That's going to be 5 damage. Pretty solid there.
And that is enough. So you chop off its main vine and hack well into the central trunk of the bush, and it flops open.
Nice.
Awesome.
And then I think my third action, I'm going to test whether these guys have a reaction and try to move around the other vine guy and see if I can get into flanking with Stoke. And so I will try to move around behind it.
Alright, so you flank the other one.
And that'll do it.
You see, out of a different tree than any of these other ones that you've been keeping your eyes on, an enormous housefly.
Oh, my goodness.
What? Something else?
It flies over towards Kardain and then starts using its mouthpiece thingy that sticks out.
Proboscis?
Proboscis.
Is it
Yeah.
a proboscis for flies? Or is that just like butterflies?
I think it's proboscis, I think.
I don't know.
Proboscis, I think, is mosquitoes and butterflies.
It's like the straw that they have.
Whatever it is, starts using that.
Don't let it land on you. Flies poop every time they land.
True
I'll
fact.
keep that in mind, Verrol. A little busy over here.
Just call the frog over and have him slurp it up.
Yes, houseflies do have proboscis.
So it's using its proboscis and trying
The
to...
old Probosci.
The old proboscilizer.
It seems to be aiming for where you're already injured to like suck up your juices, I guess.
Gross.
Oh, man.
Dude.
I'm not liking this.
But it doesn't actually connect. Kardain?
Yeah, this is a real mess.
Dude, just getting swarmed over there.
Yeah, okay, so...
You've taken one of them out.
Yeah. I was actually thinking I needed to help out you guys over there, Verrol and Stoke,
No, we're good, man.
because he's pretty injured. You're sure?
We're set, dude.
Okay.
We have the one enemy against us flanked. You are dealing with 2, possibly 3 on your own.
Yep. Thane, tell me about what it would take for me to rip this tick off me. Get this thing off me.
You could use the escape action, same as for normal grapples.
Okay, escape is...
Athletics, acrobatics, or unarmed attack.
Okay, so I could do an athletics escape. And then that would force it to have to reattach itself. It'd have to succeed on that, which with the sanctuary would be awkward, except I think it's higher in the initiative than you, Zara. I don't know if this is going to work.
What, the fly or the tick?
Well, so if we can get the tick off me and the tick fails to reattach itself, which it's probably not going to have trouble doing because sure it'll accrue multiple attack penalty. Like if I did some combination of try to rip it off, raise my shield, and maybe I actually have a 1-action heal. I'll show you guys in a bit here if I live. So there's that, or I could use one of my spell slots to try to get me out of this mess.
Yeah, because only the tick will go before I take my turn. Oh, and that other vine lasher to the south.
Mm-hmm. And I'm closer now. Well, I think raising his shield has huge benefit here because I have 3 enemies that are maybe going to attack me this next turn.
Maybe do the thing that gets you out of trouble.
It doesn't really get me out of trouble. It's a better heal than my single action heal, but I have access to a single action heal here. I should probably utilize. Okay, so single action heal, try to rip off the tick, raise a shield. I think that's my turn. Okay, so I'm going to do that sequence, Dungeon Master.
Okay.
That's Game Master to you.
Game Master. All right, so athletics, right? I just roll athletics here.
Athletics.
Let's try to rip off this tick. Get off me. I rolled a 20.
Natty
20. So I just throw it across the forest.
So you pull it off, and you have the option of moving 5 feet for free.
I feel like I should take that because then they have to spend movement to get back to me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Okay, so I am going to move closer to Zara. Zara, I need you. And then
You're the one with the shield.
Kardain's gonna get his shield up, and then I'm gonna look over at my shoulder. And Braun has been watching this whole thing unfold, and he looks so worried. And Kardain whispers in his ear, and you see Braun starts to glow. And I command my familiar to release his energy, and Braun is going to attempt to heal Kardain for some help.
Nice. Way to go, Braun.
Thank you, my friend.
Activate heal bot.
Rolling. Please hope it's big. Oh, yeah!
Oh,
almost max.
Wow.
7.
7 times half your level.
Well, no, it's number of d8s equal to half your level.
Oh, wow. Okay, I thought it was the result of the D8 times half your level.
Hey, a one-action D8 heal is pretty nice when we're level 1.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's amazing.
Once per day, but still.
Yeah.
It is once per day, but thank you, my little friend.
Braun says, I am Groot.
I am Braun.
No!
Sean's worst fear is Braun being compared with Groot.
I figured at some point one of you guys would make that joke, but he looks quite a bit different than Groot.
Braun can't speak at the moment.
Yes, and he also can't speak.
Until he turns into teenage Braun.
So I understand Braun. He and I, we get each other. And I'll raise a shield, and I'm done with my turn, and I hope that was enough.
That was a great turn,
Yeah.
considering the circumstances, yeah.
You really got yourself out of a bind there.
Stoke is swinging away at the vine lasher between the two of you. With 2 hits, he just completely annihilates it.
I told you we were fine.
Stoke's probably really good at fighting plants because he has an axe.
Oh, yes.
Seems like a nice weapon choice for plants.
And with his third action, he will start moving towards Kardain and Zara and the rest of the fight. Now it's the tick's turn, so everyone is concealed to it.
Yep.
Nice, dude.
So it knows where you are, but not exactly. It's going to continue to try to attack Kardain.
I think that makes sense because he knows kind of which direction I hobbled off.
Yeah. It steps forward and it will hypostome. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Hypostomy?
Is that how you actually say it?
Hypostomy?
I would wager there's a chance that that's how you say it.
It's not a word that I'm familiar with, but it uses that to attack you.
How's it spelled?
Hypostome.
Epistemy?
Let's see.
I think that's like medical jargon, isn't it? Hypistemy?
Yeah. YouTube.com, how to pronounce hypostome.
Hypostome. But what does it mean?
It's their little, legs and claws that they have. It's a claw attack, basically.
Hypostome.
Okay.
No, it's like the mouth thing, isn't it?
Well, I don't like it.
Because they have special... I just saw a tick. It bit my dad recently and I had to pull it out. So it has these things that go in and out to the side and latch in and...
Ugh.
Yeah.
Dude. So gross. Ticks are disgusting.
Yeah, they're so gross.
Yes, it is the mouth part. You're right.
I actually have a tick. It's not a pet. I actually have it wrapped in, you're supposed to wrap them in tape or whatever, you put tape over because they're actually almost impossible to crush or destroy. But I found a tick on my leg a couple of months ago, more towards the spring, and it wasn't latched on or anything, but I just put it in tape, because you're supposed to save them in case you start having any symptoms or whatever, you think there's a risk, so that you bring them in the doc and they can test them to see if they have Lyme's disease.
Except I've read that doesn't really help because by the time they would get any results back from them, you've probably already had whatever effects you're going to have from it. So
yeah. Well, it's usually, if they catch it early enough, they have some treatments for it if it's in its early stages.
yeah, but bringing them in isn't a big thing that really helps.
Well, it made Jay feel better, okay?
Yeah, it gives me peace of mind to know that my tick is locked away in its tapey prison, okay? I can't harm any other people.
So it does still hit you even though you're concealed, and it actually hits you with a critical hit.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Oh, wait. Is this a physical attack?
Yes.
I would like to... So I'm a druid.
In case we've forgotten.
I have a reaction to make. I'm going to use the shield block reaction since this is physical damage.
Heck yeah, dude.
All right.
I snap my shield in place to ward off a blow.
So it deals 10 points of damage, and your shield hardness is 5. So both you and shield take 5.
Yep. So basically, essentially heals me for 5.
That's cool.
in this case.
Does the shield break because it took max damage?
After it takes all the damage it can.
It needs to hit its BT, which is the broken threshold, and then I can't even raise the shield if it hits that threshold. But I don't think Steel Shield is done with 5 damage, is it?
It breaks at 10
Okay.
Yep. Hardness 5, 20 total hit points, and it breaks at 10.
and destroyed it.
Yeah. I might not want to shield block with it again, actually, this combat. We'll see.
Stoke will get it fixed up for you.
Okay, so it does bite you, and now that it is once again attached, it will resume draining your blood.
So it moved, and then it bit me, and now it's going to get an off 1 drain.
Mm-hmm. So that is another 2 points of damage to you.
Am I more drained now, or am I still just drained 1?
Still just drained 1. Doesn't stack.
Okay.
Now it's the vine that's close to you, so it's going to move up.
Hey, my shield is still raised, so
That's true.
till my turn starts again, I've got that tasty AC bonus.
Well, it misses with both attacks. So Zara.
First action, sustain the hex, and Mr. Crowley is still adjacent to the tick, so it's got the concealment and the frightened one.
Do you have any AoE? They're all stuck together here.
No, I have needle darts and then 1 attack spell, but it's targeted.
It's targeted, okay. I thought you had that divine hymn thing.
No, I didn't end up. I thought I had haunting him, but I don't actually.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we just got to hold out. The cavalry's coming, right? Verrol and Stoke are coming.
Yeah, Stoke and I are on our way. We'll be there shortly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll move up, put a hand on your back as you're fighting off 3 woodland creatures, and cast Sanctuary.
But not the cute, fuzzy kind of woodland creature. The disgusting, repulsive kind.
Verminous kind.
What is this?
I'm warding you with protective energy that deters attacks.
Oh, it's a good thing. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Creatures attempting to attack you must attempt a will save each time. But don't use a hostile action, or the spell will end.
Okay, Verrol.
I charge in for Harrogate! And I will attempt to strike the tick.
Okay, that is directly through the tree trunk, so you're going to have to move somewhere else.
Oh, the tree trunk. There's a tree trunk.
Verrol, charges into the tree and injures himself.
Knocks himself out.
Yeah, just hit my head and fall on the ground.
Oh, you could flank with Kardain if you have enough movement.
I could, couldn't I? But do I have enough movement?
Or, well, the tick is on me, right? Is it tiny or is it big?
It's pretty big.
It is small sized.
Okay, but it still gets its own space. I guess I'm just wondering if Verrol could get...
Yeah, sure.
If you're attacking the tick, then you could... Now, don't hit me. Make sure you skewer just the tick.
Yeah, I will try not to stab too far through it.
I'll stand as still as possible.
All right, so the tick is my target, and I shall attack. And that is a 26.
Oh!
That is a crit, my friends. So with the deadly D8, it's 2d6 plus d8 for 14 damage on the crit.
Yeah, deadly is a nice effect to have on your weapons. Short bows get it, rapiers get it, yeah.
That is a heavy blow, and Tick is now badly injured, cut up, and it's bleeding everywhere. And only half the blood is Kardain's.
So I didn't quite take it down. I'm going to try to hit it again, I think. I don't see a better option at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it being flat-footed is relevant.
Yeah. So 16 to hit.
It still hits.
Alright. We're going to deal 3.
Alright. It is severely wounded. The Tick remains alive. At this point, the giant frog jumps out of the tree.
Oh boy, just what we need.
And it kind of lands a little ways away from Verrol and Fly and the Tick and all them. And then it attempts to grab the fly with its tongue.
What?
Oh, that's fantastic. I was kind of hoping that behavior might show itself.
That is awesome. That's fantastic.
But the problem is those insects have attracted the frog out of the tree.
So
That's
true.
It's good and bad. It's great that he's helping us, but he's helping us because he's hungry.
Right.
Look, Verrol, it's Mother Nature at work. It's beautiful.
What a beautiful discourse.
So it manages to grab the fly with its tongue but the fly is rather large itself, so it's not pulling it in.
It's just resisting. It's like a fish on the end of a hook. The frog's tongue is just like trailing it around as the fly tries to escape.
And now it's the fly's turn. So the fly is going to attempt to escape. It actually does succeed, so it escapes the frog and then immediately starts to fly away.
Oh, well, I don't know. What would we rather have, a giant fly or a giant frog?
Well, yeah.
'Cause he seems hungry.
He was definitely spooked by the frog trying to just eat him.
Yeah, right.
Now it's Kardain's turn.
I've got to think like a pacifist now. Okay.
I mean, isn't that what you are? You're one with nature. You're at peace.
Not exactly. Okay, so we don't know if the toad's going to engage, or the frog. I feel like it's going to, though, right?
I wouldn't worry about the frog just yet.
Yeah.
We have more pressing matters at hand.
Yes, we do.
You're pretty low on HP again. You could heal yourself.
I kind of like taking the risk and trying to maximize the benefits of the sanctuary spell you just gave me. Like, other than the tick, if we can kill the tick, it should be annoying for them to get me. I mean, they have to discover that, right? The glowy thing you gave me actually is preventative.
Yeah, true. I'd go with a heal, either yourself or Verrol or Stoke. Stoke's pretty badly injured.
Oh, yeah, he is pretty injured, but I think I've got a better something cooked up my sleeve.
Well, don't cook up your sleeve. You'll get burned.
Yeah. I think it's worth trying to rip the tick off again. I hate to say it.
No, I totally agree.
I think that would probably count as a hostile action. I mean, you're directly engaging with it and ripping it off.
Oh, really? Like grabbing it and taking it off of myself?
Yep.
Well, that's unfortunate.
True. You're not letting him feed. That's so hostile.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not flashy, but I could cornucopia and eat it.
Eat the tick?
No. No, I could cast my druid focus spell and eat the berry.
The fruit.
So Kardain's going to produce a piece of fruit in his outstretched hand and then scarf it down.
Vera looks at you quizzically. Oh, so that's how you did that in the river cave.
Oh, I rolled minimum. Yeah, Verrol, I can do this too.
So the piece of fruit you gave me was magical?
In the cave? Define... I mean, this is magic born straight out of nature, my friend. It's not... I don't know if I'd call it magical.
But you led me to believe it was a simple, mundane piece of fruit that closed my wounds.
That's true.
Let's discuss this after combat, shall we?
Can we discuss this after this encounter?
Well, I'm merely saying that it appears your healing magic isn't completely devoid of usefulness. That's all. The first time you tried to heal me, it went horribly, but
that wasn't magic. That was my hands.
I see. Well, then maybe I should trust your magic more than your hands. They are filthy, after all.
So you'll accept magical healing, but if it involves my expertise...
Now that I know that your magic works better than your skills do in medicine, then perhaps I will.
Verrol, we'll talk about it after, and my turn is done. My whole action just to make a piece of fruit and eat it. It's crazy that I can't just eat it as a free action. Man, they really didn't want this spell to be good, but it's what I've got.
Stoke runs up and attacks.
Professor Snoke.
Stoke attacks the tick, seeing that is the most immediate danger, and he cleaves it off of you.
Oh, wow. I'm really glad that he's very accurate with that axe. They recommend tweezers for removing ticks, not axes.
However, due to the violent manner in which it was removed from you, you are now bleeding from the wound. So you have 1 persistent bleed damage.
Yikes.
Stoke then raises a shield.
Why would he need to raise a shield if the frog's not going to hurt us?
He's also right next to the vine, and he's wounded, so he's just
true.
trying to stay alive. The vine has a plethora of targets right now. It's been attacking Kardain, so it's going to try that first.
Brian, we're going to get some good use out of your spell, I bet.
I'm starting to rethink whether I should keep it or not.
It's good on like a druid or a cleric, like, because you just, you're like, oh, I need to switch gears and be like only healing, so you cast it on yourself and then you do non-hostile things.
So it fails its save, it can't attack you, and it will then turn towards Stoke.
Whew.
Nice.
See, already paying dividends.
Misses twice.
Sweet.
Okay, Zara.
Free action, Mr. Crowley will fly over to the other side of the vine lasher from Stoke and Verrol He does not convey flanking, however. And then Zara will cast Shroud of Night on the vine. So it makes a will save.
It succeeds.
Okay. So unaffected, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and cast Needle Darts for my second and third actions using my cool new cold iron frying pan. So like 3 little chunks of it break off and form into darts and go flying at the vine. All right, 13 plus 7, that's a 20.
That hits.
We're cooking now.
Ooh, almost max damage, 11 damage on 3d4.
Ooh, yeah.
Sweet.
Cooking with grease.
Now we're cooking with a cold iron skillet.
So the frying pan pieces fly into the vine lasher and deal heavy damage to it before...
Not a sentence you thought you'd say today, did you?
Before returning back to you and putting themselves back onto the pan. Is that how it works?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it just reforms into a frying pan again.
All right, and that's your turn. So, Verrol.
Can Mr. Crowley's space be occupied
Yes.
by someone else? Okay.
He's tiny, just like Braun. They're tiny.
He's either small or tiny. Yeah, tiny, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think familiars are tiny.
Okay. Then I will circle around the vine lasher so that I'm again flanking with Stoke and try to give it a whack. And that's a miss with a 13. Yep, I'll try again. It's a hit with a 15.
Nice.
And that's a hit specifically because of your flanking.
And that's 4 damage.
4 damage brings it down to 0. You have slain the last of the vine lashers.
Yes. Nice.
You got those like nice pokes going. You poke it full of holes.
Now we just have to figure out whether this frog is hostile and or hungry.
You still have actions. You could be the one to figure that out, right?
No.
Oh, or was that your whole turn?
That was it.
I mean, he might still be interested in that fly. That's what he really wanted. That's what got him out of the tree. It wasn't us.
You know, the fly is a lot farther away now.
It's true.
Well, surely we don't look as easy a meal to this guy.
Yeah, so the frog lashes out its tongue again, and for a moment it looks like it's about to grab Stoke, but instead it grabs onto the tick, which is right next to him, and just pulls it up, and then he starts munching on it.
Yum.
I think we can end combat here. The frog just sits there and eats, and if you let it go, it will kind of hop up into its tree branch and just sit there again.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We attack
Definitely will let it go.
Yeah, it wanted the easy meal.
Yep.
I think we can put some safe distance, though, so it doesn't feel threatened, right? Like if
Certainly.
we grab the horses and start to head back our way.
Yes, agreed.
Let's corral them and press on. Or at least find a safer spot.
When am I going to get a chance to try to roll the persistent bleed off?
Oh, that's true. Should do that now.
Okay, so yeah, I take a point of damage. Do I roll it, or...
You can do it.
Barely succeed, right? It's a 15 DC, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, got there.
Nice. Okay, so I did, but I still did take 1 point.
Alright, so you're feeling a little bit better, you're no longer bleeding, and you've dealt with the enlarged denizens of the forest.
Oh,
Sweet giblets.
well done.
So it's like everything got larger than it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah, this is weird too. And if there's anything here that I could like grab a sample to bring back to
The Grove Tendies?
Dervin.
yeah, if I could bring that back to Dervin, could I take like a sample of one of the vine lashers? Are those like large and freakish and mutated?
So the vine lashers are relatively normal. They're just one of the many things that live in this forest.
Unfortunately, it's the bugs that are freakish. Okay, we'll have to find evidence elsewhere, my friends.
Yeah, since the fly got away and the tick has been eaten, and you don't want to fight the frog for it.
I don't think so.
No.
Not really.
I jog over to Tebriel. Master Starburn, are you harmed?
No, I'm quite all right, thank you.
Oh, good. Well, apologize for that little detour in the traveling plans.
No, it's quite all right. I've dealt with my share of dangers as well. It is nice to have reliable traveling companions, though.
I should say so. Stoke certainly earns his pay.
Zara's going to spend some time treating wounds on herself to start.
Do you want any help with that? We are in the woods.
Whoa.
I guess you don't need my help.
That is a lot of dice.
Foundry just exploded with dice.
So you crit succeeded.
Is that another natural 20?
That was a 20.
Critical success.
Wow.
Whoa.
Critical success, so I healed 48 on myself.
Oh my gosh.
And healed for 14.
Good night.
So I am up, needless to say, because I only have 15 hit points total.
Yeah, you healed yourself and then some.
All right. Would anyone else like some healing?
Oh, Stoke would love some. I wouldn't mind a little. Kardain looks like he would as well.
Can you heal Verrol? But I'd like my chance at healing Stoke, because Verrol won't let me touch him.
Correct.
Stoke says, "Are you sure you couldn't let me have the lady tend to my wounds?"
How about this? What if we both tended your wounds?
I mean, that doesn't work that way, but I suppose.
He's like,
Yeah.
all right, fine. If you all want Zara to heal you, I'll heal myself, okay? I get it. I understand.
Well, I've come to trust your magic, just not your filthy dwarven hats.
Even though I technically have the better bonus, I get it.
Well, that's not what Stoke cares about.
Yeah, I know, that's true. That's not what he cares about. There's plenty of fresh herbs nearby, so Kardain's going to slunk off and, well, is that okay, Thane? Can I slunk off and get some herbs?
Slink off?
Well, I slink off because I'm feeling dejected.
You could clump off if you wanted to.
No. Clump.
Yeah. I'm going to go clump into the woods, not too far. Yeah, I'm going to go clump over to some herbs, and I'm going to try to get that tasty +2 so that my checks are easier.
All right, so Zara tries to heal Verrol and rolls a 13, which fails the check. So no success there.
I'm bad at getting healed, you guys.
Yeah. Zara doesn't hurt you like I did.
Correct.
But you're on cooldown for an hour.
Yeah. She's just like, oh, I've never seen vine lashes like this before. I don't possibly know what could help.
Is that how it works? I don't, even though I failed, I can't try again on Verrol? Or is that only if you succeed?
No, it's regardless of the check.
All right, then I will move over to Stoke and try to heal him as well.
He makes sure to roll up his sleeve nicely and showing off his muscle as you tend to his arm.
She just kind of raises eyebrow.
He's like, I got you front row tickets to the gun show, babe.
Boom, boom.
He's not saying anything, but he's certainly making it obvious that he's showing off.
Yeah, he's just making sure that there's no clothing in the way of the procedure.
Right, exactly.
Wouldn't want that.
Zara just rolls her eyes.
Stoke's heart is a moving target, let's be honest.
All right, 15, exactly a success, and I heal him for 8.
Nice.
Very nice.
Thank you, my lady. I should be white as rain in a few more days.
Yes, very well. I'm glad to put my healing skills to use. Kardain, would you like me to try to heal you?
I found these herbs. I was going to inquire that could I borrow your healing tools again?
Yes, very well. Here you are.
When I went to get the herbs, I put them in my pouch, and I found a place to wash my hands. I mean, we don't have the manservant to clean your kit this time, so I figured you'd appreciate that gesture.
And you see when she takes out her healing kit, she's bought a secondary one, like at like a pawn shop or something. Like it's all used and the tools are all rusty, and she hands you that one.
That's the one she hands to me. Gives me a -1.
It's like a child's pretend doctor's kit. And I just hand that over to him, like, here you go.
All the little like plastic instruments and stuff.
Plastic tools and
1/4-inch wide scalpel. And
yeah.
Yeah, my daughter will come up to me with the little like syringe thing that it's got like a spring inside so you can do the action of the shot.
The needle.
She'll be like, you need a shot, Daddy, and she'll put it like on my forehead. Like, there you go, all better. I'm like, thanks, honey.
All right, so gonna do a little stitch-up job with the help of these herbs. And, I got a crit success, 25.
Holy
And I'm gonna
shnikes.
heal
Very nice.
for a nice, juicy 13.
So Zara's critical was only from the natural 20, but you did it by beating it by 10, which is kind of more impressive.
Listen, Thane, I'm impressive in my own ways, okay?
All right, so it heals you up to full, and it removes your drained condition,
Nice.
which is particular to the tick and the way that it does drain.
Very nice. All right, well, everybody's feeling better, right? Everybody full health? Everyone?
Nope.
Everybody? Verrol,
Nope.
I'm so sorry that Zara wasn't able to heal you. I'm really sorry that didn't work out for you.
It's quite all right. I'll manage.
Is there time for us to meditate?
Actually, I was reading about refocusing, and apparently you can do that while you're doing anything that relates to your, like, where you get your focus points from. So you could do that, like, while you're out gathering the herbs, which is part of your healing process. So I'd say you can use your natural medicine and refocus at the same time.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh, okay. So while I was going for a walk to find the herbs, I was meditating, trying to clear out of my mind the frustration that nobody trusts me with a heal kit. I'm supposed to be the party healer.
So yeah, you have your spells if you wanted to use those.
Verrol, can I make you a fruit?
Absolutely, I love your fruit.
A magical fruit.
You're the fruitiest dwarf I've ever met.
Actually, I will say that's huge here. In the time that Zara healed 3, I could have meditated, fed Verrol, meditate again. Is that fine?
Yeah, except you're sharing a healing kit, so you're not going to be able to do that at the same time.
True. So I consume your produce.
You consume the fruits of his loom.
So I can, I don't know about that. I consumed your all produce from your cornucopia spell and gained 7, which gets me back to full. Thanks, Kardain.
Nice.
Your fruits are bountiful and sweet.
All right, I go for a Battle Brother fist bump.
Do you say that it's a Battle Brother fist? If you just go for the fist bump, I will give you a fist bump. But if you go Battle Brother fist bump, then I will not oblige.
Decline.
No. Yeah, you're triggered by the word battle, so I say
not battle, Battle Brother. Let's be clear.
Right. You're triggered by the word brother, so I say
brother
to battle, and then we fist bump.
I say to fruit. And then I fist bump you back. Wonderful produce.
All right, I give you fruit, you give me battle. Fruit. And we'll have a fruit fight.
When I say fruit, you say battle. Fruit, battle, fruit, battle. Clap your hands and stomp your feet.
Well, you know what's cool about cornucopia? If I was a much higher level druid, I could literally make a food fight happen without us wasting money
or food.
I mean, I could make a food fight happen, and I'm level 1.
Yeah, but that would waste food, Zara. We don't do that.
Yeah, well, you don't do that.
But my food is magically created and thus not a waste.
Speak for yourself.
No, that kind of goes against his druidic order. I would give the fruit after the food fight to woodland beasts.
Ah, yes.
Donate it to charity.
Well, I would love to discuss food waste at length with you. I say we.
Oh, dude! Quick story about food waste. My wife is at the supermarket the other day, and this guy is rolling this huge cart of apples past, and it's all apples that have been slightly, bruised or imperfect. And she was asking the guy, what are you going to do with those? And he's like, oh, we got to throw them out. She's like, can I buy them at a discount from you? He's like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to do that.
What?
And so they're not doing. She's like, bruised apples you can make into apple pie. She's like, I could have made 10 apple pies. Yeah, applesauce, anything that's not that, and they're going to go throw them
FDA
away
regulations
instead of either donating them to a food bank or anything. It's crazy.
My wife has a subscription grocery service where it's the unwanted food, but it's still edible, bruised vegetables and fruits.
The ding and dent.
Mm-hmm. I forget the name of it off the top of my head right now in this moment.
Yeah, we used to do that too. Misfit Foods or something like that.
Mm-hmm. There's a few companies that do it, and yeah, exactly. They're what your wife discovered, right? They're people that have capitalized on that and made businesses to reduce food waste. And
that's cool.
They make deals and purchase the food, and then you set up a subscription service, and they send us every few weeks. They send us some slight. I don't even notice. Really can't tell the difference.
Right, with most stuff.
I've not noted that we have horribly bruised fruit in my house. Mm-hmm. It tastes just fine.
Yeah, Misfits Market is one of them.
Go to misfitmarket.com/damage.
Yeah, free advertising.
Shout out to our sponsors, Misfit Market.
Misfit Market, if you're listening to this and you want to sponsor the show, be happy to have you.
For all your misfit food needs.
The Isle of Misfit Foods.
Where Rudolph goes to eat. All right, moving on.
Yeah, so you spend about half an hour there tending your wounds, getting cleaned up.
Let's crack on, shall we?
It's not too much later. It's only about a 10-minute walk, and then you hear gurgling sound coming from up ahead.
A river. It's either a river or some unfortunate forest animal dying.
Or someone with a sore throat.
Yeah.
They're gargling salt water.
Would you say it's more of a gurgling or a gargling?
Or a gargoyling.
More of a bubbling sound.
Babbling, maybe? A brook?
Babbling, that works.
Oh, okay.
But not the kind of like blah, 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 blah,
Yeah, it's a brook that's talking to itself.
You discover a baby.
I just realized, Thane, I wasn't keeping track of Stoke. Stoke, you're still injured, my friend.
So he is.
Maybe I'll have Zara tend to me in the morning.
I could give you a fruit. Would you like fruit?
I suppose.
It's very good fruit, Stoke, I must say.
I understand. You probably want a reason to get another medicine check. Kardain's very wise. He could figure that out. He could put 2 and 2 together.
I'll accept your fruit.
All right.
Much to my chagrin, I shall accept it.
Kardain gets all excited when he gets to share his produce. Oh, max healing.
Dang, nice. 10.
Yeah, so he's healed up to fold.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you hear this bubbling sound, and you move up to it. You arrive at a little bit of an embankment, where down below, you see this stream entering through a small tunnel into the ground. So this is apparently the source of the stream underground that you were following. And you can indeed see little hints of this green, inky, misty fluid flowing through it.
Oh my.
Tebriel, you have steered us true.
Well, are we to enter the tunnel?
Well, it's not really big enough for you to go in any distance, and it's also where it's heading to. So the tunnel is like back behind you, and it would eventually lead to that underground place under the grove.
Okay.
So the stream comes from farther ahead and then goes into this tunnel down here, where it then proceeds underground for a while.
It's like the stream is traveling towards us.
And it's just running underground.
But there's enough clearance for us to... Maybe some of the taller members have to duck.
You could go in a little ways, but again, it gets blocked pretty quickly by all the roots and things.
So if the green stuff is flowing down in it, we still want to keep following it up.
Keep on going upstream.
Yeah. But we found the thread.
Yeah, this is giving us hope that our cartographer is leading us in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like he knew what he was doing. We all believed the guy, but...
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantee we were going to return to the green stream.
Master Starburn, you've proven yourself. Well done.
Thank you. I'm glad that you trusted me not to lead you astray, and I have indeed led you true. And not to worry, I've been keeping notes, and I know our way back home as well.
Ah, very good. Very good. So pleased to have you with us. Well, shall we press on?
Yes, let's.
I think so.
Buoyed with the new knowledge that you actually do know where you're going, you continue on upstream to find the source of this strange poison in the river.
Brum bum bum ba.
Just around the poison river bend.